Hey guys, Justin here, and the topic I wanted to talk about today is traveling and is it worth it to travel. So I wanted to talk about this because I feel like traveling is often glorified in a lot of sort of mainstream advertising and people on Facebook and things of that nature. So I wanted to sort of outline reasons why people might travel and then give a sort of counter argument to that reason so you can make up your own mind if you're thinking about traveling or you're planning a trip or something. So one of the reasons people might travel is just to go on a holiday. And I think that's awesome. If you're working hard and you're saving up a bit of money, you might just want to spend it once in a while and go lie on a beach somewhere and drink some cocktails and get a massage or something. I think that's awesome. What I don't think is healthy is if you want to go on a holiday just to escape your work for 2 weeks and then just come back and you still don't enjoy your work. So if you're grumpy at your work and you go on a trip and you go to the beach, you're not just going to be instantly changed as a person where you can just be happy and appreciative that you're at the beach. You know, you might be happy for a second, but you're going to have to remind yourself, oh, I'm at the beach, I should be happy and appreciative. And if you can remind yourself that you have to be happy and appreciative of the fact that you're at the beach, I feel like you can also do that in your home where you should be happy and appreciative in the fact that you're in your backyard. So there's a sort of mindset that goes along with that way of thinking. The counter-argument of that, however, would be that the prospect of a holiday would make you more engaged and focused with your work and happy with your work. So I know this happened for me. I was working at a supermarket in 2011 on my gap year where I was planning this sort of 6 or 7 month trip where I was going to travel around America and Europe. And in the build up to that trip, I was working 6 or 7 days a week and it was really just engaging and effortless. And I was so motivated for that vision or that goal I'd set up for myself that I was able to work a lot and feel really good about it. That feeling of excitement that you get for planning a trip, however, can also sort of be mirrored with other goals or visions for yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be a trip that's going to give you that motivation and engagement with whatever it is that you're doing. So another reason people might travel is to see the world. And I feel like this is different for everybody because you're going to be more appreciative of things that you worked really hard to get to. So I remember I was talking to a little kid from France once, and he was from Paris. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, you're from Paris. Have you ever been to the Eiffel Tower? And he was like, I hate the Eiffel Tower. I hate it. And I thought this was really interesting because for me, when I went to the Eiffel Tower, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was like this really cool thing that I worked really hard to get. And because I'd sort of saved up all that money and I went around to the other side of the world to get there, there's sort of this feeling where you just like, I did it, like that. I did it. And it's just that feeling of accomplishment and gratitude that you get when you work towards a goal and you achieve it. So that feeling can also be mirrored with other goals, but it's important to understand that you can be more appreciative of something that you worked hard towards, especially if you're planning a trip around the world or something. Another reason people would travel would be to experience culture. So if you're thinking, what about the culture? I want to go check out how other people live and different ways of life. That's an awesome way to travel, in my opinion. For me, what I think culture is just what people like to do. So once you've got food and shelter down pat, everything in between is just sort of culture and people trying to enjoy themselves in their lives. So I feel like once you get a little bit older, you might sort of develop your own culture and develop your own sort of things that you like to do. And most of those things you can do in your hometown and you don't have to travel to do them. So when you're young, I think it's really cool to experience different cultures and find out what you like and learn a little bit about yourself. But if you know yourself very well and you know your own sort of culture, you don't necessarily have to travel the world to go experience culture. You can make the world around you a better place. Now, I'm not saying traveling is bad, I'm just offering a different perspective. Another reason people would travel would be for the feeling that they get when they're exploring a new place. Some people might call this the travel bug. So when you're walking around a new place or you're exploring a new city, you sort of get this cool, engaged feeling where you're seeing something for the first time. And what I tell people is, look, if you go to a random suburb in your hometown and just walk around, you'll get that same feeling that you get where if you're walking around Rome or something. And people look at me like I'm crazy and they think, how is that the same? But if you take out the feeling of accomplishment and excitement that I mentioned earlier, the fact that you're exploring and you're going on an adventure is sort of the same feeling, in my opinion, if you drove 20 minutes or if you traveled on a plane for 12 hours. It's the same sort of feeling of exploration and sort of engagement that you get when you're seeing a new place for the first time. So I encourage you to try that out if you're thinking about traveling, to sort of get an idea of that feeling that you're going to get. Another reason people would travel is for the personal growth and the stories they're going to get out of it. So with storytelling, if you're a good storyteller, you can make the way that you got to work in the morning a really fun, interesting, engaging story. It doesn't necessarily have to be the fact that you got lost in Peru on the other side of the world or something and you had to sort of ride a donkey home, even though that's an awesome story. With the personal growth, for me, I came back from my 7-month trip and I had all these stories that I wanted to tell people, and I was like, I had these different perspectives and I changed so much, and how do people just not see it? People are living just normally, and it took a while to sort of settle back in to living in a city. So it's important to understand, if you're traveling for personal growth, you're doing it for yourself and not for other people, or so you can just put it on Facebook or something. So the other reasons people would travel would be for work, for events, and for love. But I hope this video sort of provided some value on information on why people might travel and what you can get out of traveling and what you can get out of just your life if you don't feel like traveling. Traveling or not, however, for me, I feel really good when I get out into nature, so I encourage you to do that to see how you feel, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys next time.